Good morning, viewers, and welcome to We the People Show, coming to you live from Vancouver, a production of the Universal Heritage Television, Niger, US TV, Niger. I'm Obidi Marco, your anchor, and today we are going to be looking at a very disturbing issue, an issue that has kept people in Imo State, in very big suspense and grief, I would say. That is the case of Nonsonkwa Chinonso Oba, the veteran broadcaster in Imo State, who people know as the voice of the people, who has been arrested or who was arrested, courtesy of, we're not even sure whether it's the state government or the federal government that arrested him, but all we know is that it is the government in Nigeria that arrested him. He was arrested in a very, Gestapo manner in an abducting manner by a Gestapo police team, and then people thought they were kidnappers, but eventually it turned out to become policemen that actually abducted him in that manner, and now he's been facing lots of legal hurdles, if I may say, or manipulated legal hurdles. But then today, that's what we're going to look at, and I have deployed some guests who will be discussing this matter with me today. My first guest this morning is Comrade Precious Wadike. Comrade Precious Wadike is connecting with me from Ottawa here in Canada. Unfortunately, our emblem is reading Owerri, but he's actually in Ottawa. We're going to correct that. But Comrade Precious Wadike is connecting with us this morning and is going to be part of the discussion panel for this program. Let me welcome him officially. Comrade Precious Wadike, the NUJ chairman, Imo State. You're welcome to the program.
Abdul, thank you for having me.
Okay. Also, I have another guest here who is a social commentator. He's also a broad. The legal counsel to Chinonso Barrister Charles Mbekonye. I think he's the lead counsel in that matter. He was supposed to join me for this program, but unfortunately, he just told me that he's in a meeting presently with the Commissioner of Police concerning this matter. So he will not be joining us again. But I wanted to have, if I had Duru Daniels as somebody who is in Imo State, presently would have given us. And I understand also that Chinonsoba was in court today, so maybe Drew Daniels would have given us a kind of update of what the situation is. But maybe when he connects back, he's going to be able to do that. But now let me come to Comrade Precious Wadike and let's look at what the situation is. Comrade, can you give me a little bit of your own understanding of what is going on? Can you, if you have an ample knowledge of what the situation is, can you just let us give us a kind of intro into this situation?
Okay, Abdul, I want to use the opportunity to thank our listeners, of course, the viewers. By the position I hold, I am deeply involved because what we're talking about now is Chinosoba, the right of Chinosoba to hold personal opinions. Okay, and our colleagues before this time also made our time to visit Chinosoba. popularly known as Nonsonkwa. And in the course of that conversation, a lot of things were revealed, you know. And one begin to wonder what offense did Nonso commit. I wish his lawyer is here. The truth is that I don't know the offense for which Nonsonkwa is being held in first in the police custody and currently at the correctional center in Owerri. I don't know the offense. Because if the lawyer is there, the lawyer would have told us these are the charges for which Nonsonkwa is being held.
Held, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because when some of our colleagues visited at the correctional center and came back, uh, we were first told that he was arrested in connection with a report that was made in TVC, regarding building an IDP center in Owerri, or in Imo State, rather. And then I asked, what is the connection? Because I followed that report. No, Sonkwa only rebroadcasted what was reported by TVC. And this is a national television. Okay, so I don't believe in hearsay. I want to know what offense Nonsonkwa committed. Did he commit any offense by rebroadcasting what was already
Already in the
reported by
public view.
TVC?
Yeah.
So I haven't gotten any idea of the offense Nonsonkwa committed. Okay. Now, if anyone has such information regarding what offense he committed, the person should let us know. It's very, very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, and until we get to know about that, we won't be able to look at these issues dispassionately.
Yeah. Okay. I just wish Duru Daniels, can come back, to this program so that he can give us some background. We actually need this information. And even his lawyer that was supposed to, be in this program, he told me that as soon as he's finished with the meeting, he's going to try to connect, hoping they will come. But pressure generally, this is not the first time Nonsonkwa has been arrested, and some of us also, you and I, have also passed through these stages. These are, the normal would I say strategies or practices that people in government use to see whether they will, if they will cow, opposition, or if they can shut people up from speaking up, against the wrong things that government does, So in my own case, it's just like the same thing. I was abducted after a radio program, by the DSS, and followed the same process, later remanded in prison, and eventually I stood trial for 2 years. Eventually, I still won the case. You pass the same thing. You pass through the same. I remember when you were also abducted, detained, taken to pass through the same process. So I mean, they say you keep doing something the same way and you expect different result. Is it that the people in government are daft? And it's not like it's the same government, you know, government after government, they still take the same style, you know. Don't you think there should be a change in the manner and approach that government, approaches criticism and opposition?
Okay, Abdul, we were going to be talking generally. I had actually expected that the lawyer would give us a background, and then
Yeah,
from there we'll take it up. But be that as it may, you see, the problem is that most of these leaders don't learn from history. Over time, you have tried to suppress public opinions. You've tried to suppress the media, but it's not working. You were at some point detained. I was also at some point detained. Did that stop us from talking? We have continued to air our views. Okay. So if for any reason somebody speaks of what you do as a government and he says this is not what is expected of a public office holder, and for that reason you want to clamp down on that person, it makes no meaning. It makes no meaning. We are talking about democracy here. Now, on the issue of Nonsonkwa, we know Nonso has been very, very vocal. He has his style. Okay, give it to him. Now, there is no if anybody will tell you that Nonsonkwa was what he
Oh, Comrade Precious, if you can hear me, we've lost your audio there. Maybe you need to check your phone. We've lost your audio. We can't hear you again. See if you can check your phone while I see if I can bring up Duru Daniels. Duru Daniels, can you hear me? I think Duru Daniels has joined us. I'm trying to see if we can get his audio. Duru Daniels, can you hear me? Oh, something else. Something is not right here. Um, Comrade Precious, are you? Can you hear me? Oh, something is not right here. Okay, see if you can adjust your microphone and see
Abdul,
if you.
can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you. So I don't know what actually happened then.
Okay,
So
okay,
yeah. So
okay.
go on with what
Now,
you're saying.
can I go on?
Yeah, go on with what you're saying.
Okay. Now, Abdul, when our people visited Nonsonkwa
Yeah,
at the correctional center,
yeah.
he raised the silent point, you know, and by the time they left, some media houses carried
Okay,
his revelation.
Comrade Precious, if you don't mind, Duru Daniels is here because the network is not very stable down there from Nigeria. So let's see if we can have him and let him give us a kind of background and update to this matter. Duru Daniels, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Okay, so because of network, just give us
Ad-
yeah. First of all, I've already welcomed you to the program. Network pushed you up, but just give us a kind of background to what is going on. Can you hear me? Oh, I think we're having a network issue.
yes,
Okay,
now
so go
you
on.
ask, can you
Go on.
hear me? I heard you, but I think you were asking a question. I didn't get the question.
I said, can you give us a kind of a background to this matter?
Hello?
Give us a kind of background to this matter and
Okay.
an update where we are now. I learned you went to court today, so just give us an update of what
Okay,
happened.
let me let me begin with the update. The update is that today Nonso was brought to court, and unfortunately the court could not sit. When we tried to find out the reason, no reason was given. Though we later heard that the magistrate that is supposed to um, sit in the court that is brought to is not around.
Okay. Oh, I think his network has freezed.
I to find out from his legal team. I think what they said is just simply that the court is not sitting today, and they got a new date, and that date is 19th of this month, 19th November 2024. So that's the update for now. He was supposed to be brought to court today, magistrate court. We also had that DPP that is supposed to produce a report is not even ready with their report. They didn't even show up with their report. So it was two issues at the same time, and that was why people started suggesting that it was deliberate, perhaps by his accusers, that it was a calculated attempt. It was well orchestrated, that the court will not sit, and that a DPP should not bring up their report or should delay the report and all of that. So that's the much we saw today. And we also started hearing this, well, for now, is unconfirmed. People insinuating that perhaps Nonso will be there till the end of this year. That was part of the plan. That was part of the arrangement to keep delaying his trial and keeping him behind bars until the year comes to an end. Perhaps by next year they will now resume the trial. But let's see how it plays out. I think that would mean the legal team having a whole lot of work to do. So this is the much update I can give you on the matter so far.
Okay, we are actually supposed to have the lawyer here. Unfortunately, we don't have him.
Hello,
But have you been able to speak with his lawyer? I mean, what
hello, are you
is
there?
yeah, I can hear you clearly. We are supposed to, we're going to have some latency, so maybe it takes
Oh
a little
no,
bit of time before you hear me,
what's
okay?
happening?
Yeah, so you just observe a few
Hello,
seconds.
are you there?
I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me? I can hear you clearly. I can hear you clearly. I'm hearing you.
Can someone hear me? Is somebody hearing me?
I can hear you. Okay. Network is okay. Comrade Precious, while we work on Duru Daniel's connection, you heard what he said, but I think there's been an amendment to this law that allows people to be arraigned, in courts without jurisdiction over matters, which
Hello.
Daniels, can you hear me? Oh,
Wow, I think network is so
yeah.
bad.
The network is bad, but we are hearing you. What do I do? Okay, maybe you are going to reconnect again, and let's see if the network will improve. I think that's what will happen. Okay. Um, okay. Let him reconnect, and then let's see. Yeah, he's calling now. Let me see if it will connect. That's the challenge we have with Nigeria. It's really bad. If you call Ghana or any place, it's better. But Nigeria is always an issue. It's always an issue. Um, Daniels, can you hear me? Daniels, can you hear me? It's not connected. It's not connected. Mm. Hello, hello, Daniels. Oh, the network is bad. Okay. Comrade Precious, go on. When he connects, then we'll take it from there. But I thought there's been something has been done about the law that allows people to be arraigned in courts without jurisdiction. Or is it the same old practice that people could just be arraigned, in courts that do not have jurisdiction, and then the person, by the time they settle the issue of jurisdiction, the person would have spent time in detention. Daniels, can you hear me? Are you there? There's some noise.
Yes, network really
Yeah, when you were
wasn't
asking us,
stable.
I was hearing you. We were hearing you clearly that time, but just that you weren't hearing us. So, can you? I was asking you, have you heard from
Okay,
his
okay,
lawyer?
sorry.
Have you heard from his lawyer? And what did his lawyer say? After today's outing, is there anything that his lawyer has said?
Okay, I think they could not, or they did not. I don't know, for reasons best known to them. They did not actually address the two pressmen I saw in court premises. They said the senior lawyer that addressed the people said he doesn't want to make much comments on the matter for now, that he's avoiding media trial or something. So he didn't actually say anything because people came out in solidarity, in an encouraging number. It was a good one from what I saw today. people came out showing solidarity, and yes, the lawyers did not really say anything other than the court did not sit, and that they have a new date, which is 19th of November.
Okay. So, Comrade Precious, I was asking you, about the the law that allows people to be arraigned in courts that do not have jurisdiction. We are having a kind of echo there from I don't know whose phone is that, but okay, now it has subsided. So, Precious, can you comment on that? Um, do you think the law still persists?
Okay, Abdul, there are a lot of things going wrong in our country. Okay, and when people assume office, they feel because they are now occupying offices, they can now destroy the system. What you're saying is what it ought to be. The magistrate has no jurisdiction from the onset. So why bring Nonsonkwa to the magistrate? But all things being equal, when in a criminal proceeding, there must be a complainant, okay? In
Yeah.
other words, you said the petitioner, and then the accused person. Now, the petitioner, who is the petitioner in this matter? When my people visited Nonsonkwa at the correctional center, he said that those who arrested him were not policemen, okay? This should be of concern to every Imolite. He said those that arrested him were not policemen. Now, how come police arrest Nonsonkwa? Ordinarily, if this allegation, as Nonsonkwa said, because when it was published in the media, I expected the government or the police to debunk the report. But the situation where up till now, neither the government nor the police debunked this report, it gives credence that what Nonsonkwa said could be true. And if it is true, why is he being still tried? Why are they still trying him? Okay? Can somebody just pick up an individual, a citizen of Nigeria, and bring him to the police? So if those that arrested Nonsonkwa were not policemen, there's no reason for the trial. They should ordinarily release him. Except the
Okay. Precious has freezed out there.
police is now
Okay.
saying, what basis was he arrested? Can you hear me?
Yeah, go on, go on,
Are you there?
go on. I
Are
can
you
hear you.
there?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go on.
Now, if police says that they have a petition that was sent to them and they acted based on that petition, now they should be able to let us know what are the charges. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, even though I said I don't believe in hearsay, but if what I was told or what we are told as a union is what the reason why Nonsonkwa is being held in the police custody, I mean in the correctional center, then it leaves us with a lot of reservation. It leaves us with a lot of reservation.
Yes,
Nonsonkwa,
that's where I want Duru Daniels to come in as a follower of this matter. Duru Daniels, can you bring us to speed as at the first time he was arraigned in court? Was the charges read? Did he take his plea? You know, the first time he was arraigned in court, was the charges read to him? Did he take his plea? Daniels, if you can hear me.
Hello,
Yeah, Daniels, can
can
you
you
hear
hear
me?
me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go on, we can hear you. We can hear you clearly. Ah, Daniels, we can hear you. Go on, we can hear you. Oh, okay. Maybe I have to disconnect him and connect him back again. Maybe that way. It's really a problem. Okay. That the challenge with technology, when you're having this kind of
Really?
programs, yeah, and well, it's beyond our control. There's nothing much we can do that's beyond our control. So, like we were discussing before, on the attitude of government and behavior of people in government, like different people come into power and they still toe the same line, and they don't believe that, there's an alternative or a better way to handle issues other than this method of harassment, intimidation, coercion, and all of that. So, um, don't you think it's time we begin to have a second look at how we, engage? Hello, Daniel, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I am
Okay.
back.
Unfortunately, we'll have to be putting you off and bringing you back for the network to
Hello?
be active. Yeah. So I was asking you. I said the first time he was arraigned. I mean, did he take
Hello?
his plea? The first time Nonso was arraigned, did he take his
Hmm.
plea and was
Network
the
is
charges read to
really
him?
terrible.
Uh, can
No, no.
you,
Can you hear
Daniel?
me?
I can hear you clearly. It's you. It's for you to hear me. Oh, okay.
The network
Yeah,
is so bad.
it's a problem. Okay. Yeah, that's why I usually emphasize that people get located where the network is strong because this program is powered by network. If you don't have strong connection, it doesn't work. Okay, so let's move ahead. Do you think it's coming again? Let me see if it works now. Um, Let me see if it works now. Daniels, can you hear me now?
Sorry. Yes, network is really
So
terrible
tell
here.
us quickly,
Very, very
when he
terrible.
was arraigned the
I
first
can hear you
time,
now.
did he take his plea and were the charges read to him? And if the charges were read to him, what was he charged for?
The court did not even sit.
No, not today. I'm not talking about today. The first
Didn't
time
sit.
he was arraigned in court. The first time he was arraigned in court, were
Okay,
the
the first
charges read?
time.
Yeah, were the charges read to him, and did he take his plea?
Okay, I didn't actually meet the first court. When immediately we came, we arrived. It was done horridly. Immediately we came, that was when we saw them moving him away to correctional center. So I didn't personally get exactly what transpired during the first hearing. I can't say exactly. Maybe that's why we need to hear from the lawyer. If he was part of this program, maybe he would have told us exactly what transpired during the first appearance. So I didn't actually. I was in court, but before we could. I don't know. Everything just was very fast, horridly. He was arraigned, and before we could say Jack, they whisked him off again to correctional center. So I don't know if he actually took any plea.
Okay. And what is the mood of the people like in the state concerning this development? I mean, how are people reacting to Nonso's arrest?
Yes, I think for me, the mood is a positive one when it comes to showing solidarity. In fact, Nonso was impressed. Some of us even tried to make a video, and two of us had our phones seized. Yes, they had to seize my phone in the court premises there, and one other guy, though they later gave us back our phones. So, but it was when we wanted to capture the scene, the crowd, and the way they were hailing him, and all of that. Even we had to, myself and Savila, we had to interview a lot of people after the whole thing right there in court premises, and people freely said a lot of things that show that they are in support of him. They are giving him solidarity because they believe that he didn't do anything wrong, that it is just a matter of the state trying to intimidate him or trying to ensure that there is no dissenting voice in the state. So for me, it's a positive reaction, and that's the way it is for now.
Okay. Comrade Precious, I learned you sent a delegation of members of the NUJ, Imo State branch, to visit and also at the correctional facility. So, what report did they give you? I mean, what was his spirit like? You know, is he in high spirit or is he in low spirits? You know, and what were some important things that he said to them?
From what I gathered, my colleague said the Nonsonkwa, of course, is in a high spirit, and is is not surprising to me. Abdul, you've had your fair share of
Definitely,
what I
definitely.
tag tyranny. Okay,
Definitely, yeah.
so being in correctional center is not a death sentence. But what annoys me is the fact that these people believe that the only way they can shut us up is by getting us out of circulation. It cannot work. It didn't work in the past and it will not work till this moment will come. Okay. So I was talking to you about one of the things Nonso said regarding how he was arrested. Okay.
Yeah.
So that issue, if it's not handled, if government refuses to comment on it, it raises some questions. We're in an era of unknown government. Okay. So if for any reason somebody comes and picks you up and then he does not show authority where he's coming from, it gives more concern to every deciding person in Imo. Okay. Now, Nonso is a radio presenter, right? Section 39 of the 1999 Constitution allows everybody to air his opinion. Okay. So if Nonsonkwa airs his opinion and you feel what he has said is wrong, why don't you initiate the normal civil litigation rather than criminal? But what they do, because they want to put him out of circulation, they could easily go to any magistrate and get him locked up. Okay, that is okay. But what we are looking at now is Nonsonkwa being in detention. Has this addressed the issues, those issues that are being raised regarding the TVC news? He talked about local government because one of the things he told our colleagues is that one of the reasons why he was arrested is because of his advocacy on local government fund. Okay, so if the local government fund is being interrogated by citizens of Imo State, how does that constitute an offense? Because I am also going to ask similar question. Abdul, you ask the same question because it's a public fund. If Nonso is asking this local government fund, now that we have elected local government chairman, the council fund should be utilized. Does that constitute an offense? If he reported what was published in the TVC news, does it also constitute an offense? Well, I don't want to dwell so much on this since his lawyer is not here. All we're saying here, I don't have the charge sheet, okay? But it's unfortunate that those in authority have failed to learn from history. I was detained under Rochas Okrocha today. Did that in any way dampen my spirit? The answer is no. Abdul, you were also detained. Did that dampen your spirit? The answer is no. Nonsonkwa will come out stronger. Okay? And I want to also use this opportunity to tell the Imo people, there was never a time Imo NUJ disowned Nonsonkwa. I got series of calls. I got series of calls. People asking me, why did the union disown Nonsonkwa? Never a time did we disown Nonsonkwa. You said Nonsonkwa is not a journalist. What about someone? Must you be a journalist for you to air your opinion? That you are not a journalist, or should you not be killed because you are not a journalist? So I don't understand where.
That is a critical issue that maybe some people keep wallowing in ignorance of not knowing what journalism is all about. Probably they think that journalism is only maybe if you belong to an association, that what makes you a journalist. They don't know that journalism is about a practice, and I want to refer the so-called person to the API, the American Press Institute definition of what journalism is. So many of them do not know, you know. So by the job that he is doing, he is a journalist. That's what journalism, the job he does is journalism. That's what he's doing. He is a broadcast journalist. So when people speak out of ignorance, probably because they've been bought over, and then they keep saying what they don't know. I learned one Ifeanyi Wanguma, who is being manipulated by the some forces within around the state government, you know, went to press to make some uh, blackmailing statements against Nonso that is not a journalist, and to the best of my knowledge, I know Nonso was at the Broadcast Institute in Enugu recently, where he did some programs, and he's been practicing journalism. So I don't know what that guy is talking about. Maybe the guy is talking out of ignorance. He's a guy I know too that read theater arts. So most of these theater arts people, they're always dramatic. Maybe he's trying to play some kind of drama too. But outside that, anyway, it shows their level of ignorance of what things are. So, but let me come now to the fact of state manipulation of the judiciary. Everybody is talking about the judiciary in Nigeria. If there is one big problem that we have in Nigeria today, it is the judiciary. And the only problem that can fix things in Nigeria today, is the judiciary. My father told me before he died that the water you use to wash off debts is not supposed to be dirty. That water you use to wash things when things are dirty, if that water becomes dirty, then there's nowhere to run to. The judiciary is supposed to be the clean water we use to wash off dirt in the society. And unfortunately, the judiciary has become very dirty in Nigeria. You now see, judges, even at the level of Supreme Court, hobnobbing with politicians. I remember sometime when I was working with one popular prominent figure in Imo State, and we visited his son. The mother was a judge, a high court judge. We visited his son, and that popular, you know, comedian who later turned politician made efforts to reach out the mother just to say hi to her. And because the woman is a judge, the woman refused. All the messages sent to her, the son called the mom that this man wants to say hi. The woman refused and said, "You greet him, exchange pleasantries with him, but I cannot see him." You see, that's the conduct of how judges should conduct themselves. But today, last week, I saw the chief judge of Nigeria being honored by Lagos State government, you know, where you had politicians gather around her. And then recently I saw when Justice Chomi Heme did her birthday or whatever, you saw it was like a roll call for all politicians in Nigeria. And he keeps, Wike is doing something in Abuja, you see all the judges will file out. He's sharing houses to them, you see. And then how can such judge stand on his court, in his court, and pronounce judgment that will be unfavorable to such persons? So what do you make of the situation we have found ourselves in the hands of Nigerian judiciary today? Precious.
Well, If you want me to talk generally, I thought we were restricting this discussion
Yeah, but
on
they
Nonsonkwa.
are all interwoven. They are all connected because the judiciary is being manipulated. Even in this case, even in the ones we passed through. In my own case, the judiciary was
Mm.
openly manipulated. In fact, the magistrate was in court and she was receiving calls. She would go in while the case was on. She would go in, take a call, come out again. They were manipulating her, right? And it was very obvious. And I think something is happening too.
Yes, in the case of Nonsonkwa, um, one would not conclude that the magistrate hasn't done what she or he ought to do. Okay. Uh-huh. But if the court says it lacks jurisdiction, I also expected the lawyer to step up, go to the high court and secure bail for Nonsonkwa. So in this case, I don't think the judiciary has done anything wrong. But if at a stipulated time, Nonsonkwa is still kept in their custody, now we'll say the court has also disappointed us. But for now, I wouldn't say the court has disappointed us. But if in the next hearing, this report Duru Daniel is given to us, the court also does not sit, we'll begin to act, we'll begin to interrogate the integrity of the court. But for now, I want us to give the court the benefit of the doubt. You know, when the police hurriedly arrested Nonsonkwa, we commended the police commissioner. Yes, we commended him, because they didn't have to keep him there for so long. We also expecting the judiciary, no matter the interference, we expect the judiciary to allow this young man. He has only spoken with his mouth. Okay, what he has is his mouth. I don't think they tagged him on non-gunman. Okay, so if they didn't tag him on non-gunman, what Nonsonkwa says, he uses his mouth to express his feelings. So he hasn't committed any crime known to me or known to anybody in Imo State. But regarding the issue of judiciary in Nigeria, Abdul, today all of us are advocating for financial autonomy for the legislative arm of government. We're also advocating for financial autonomy for the judiciary. Okay, these are some of the issues. There's always conflict of interest. But what I expect our judges do is try as much as possible not to get close to these politicians. A lot of them are very corrupt. And you say corrupt politicians will always find a way to destroy the system. And when they destroy this same system, they forget that they won't be in power forever. That same system will haunt them. Okay? You see a lot of them. You see a lot of them when you travel overseas, you see them at the airport. They behave themselves. But the moment they come to Nigeria, you see them, they become demigods. And that's an unfortunate thing. You want to destroy every fabric of democracy in Nigeria. Why? This is a country all of us should be proud of. Okay? So, conflict of interest. We'll try as much as possible, avoid anything that will create impression that this person who is today have not been with you would. I remember those days. It was even difficult to see a judge. Yes, it
Yes,
was
yes,
difficult to see a judge. Yeah,
of course.
it was difficult to see a judge in a function, let alone a judge holding an event where politicians will come around and then you start drinking and all what have you. However, that is Nigeria for you. So I am advocating. Abdul, today, today, you also are aware that at some point in Imo State, a former governor was arrested and arraigned. Are you aware? A
Yes.
former governor was arraigned, was arrested, was arraigned. The same way some of us were arrested and arraigned. So when you are in power and you think you are going to be in power
Even
forever,
a
you are
party
making a
chairman, I
mistake.
remember Dr. Alex Obi also was arrested
Eh,
at that time and arrested.
So power is transient. Power is transient. So today I want to use the opportunity to call on Senator Hope Uzodinma. He is our governor. He is my brother. I don't care who advises him. Because these same people who are advising him today, by the time he leaves office, they will abandon him. And that is when he will begin to appreciate our modern advice to him. He should not be listening to some persons who will come to him to whisper to him that this person is your enemy because he's criticizing your government. That person who criticizes your government wants you to succeed. And you shouldn't use sledgehammer. Look at Nonsonkwa. What offense did Nonsonkwa commit? Up till this moment, my greatest challenge is knowing the offense Nonsonkwa committed that all of us have not committed. Yes, all of us, including those who work with Senator Uzodimma. We have a situation where if you want to get an appointment in Uzodimma's government, you criticize him, and then he brings you into the government.
Yeah,
Is that what they want to do to
because
Nonsonkwa?
like 60% or 70% of those working with him, especially the young people, we are people who ab initio were attacking him.
Yeah,
You
at some
know,
point
so
criticize you.
yeah,
So is
they're
that the
out there. You
system?
have the
If I
likes
want
of
to get an appointment
you
from
have
you,
the likes of I just want to call some of the names I know. I know
no, you don't need to mention names.
no,
We
but
don't need
no,
to.
no, no, no.
You don't need,
In
you don't need to mention names.
my own. Um, I believe in transparent criticism, right? If I'm criticizing somebody, I should
Hmm.
be able to point I mean make references. I know of Nwogugu, who used to be the spokesman of a new PDP new media team at the Hedio. You know, he was. Some people say he was bought over. You know, you will have Collins Oporozo, who have even been to my programs, dishing out figures of Hope Uzodimma's alleged embezzlement and how he ran Imo State down. And then all of a sudden he's over there, and people say he was also bought over. I know of Mzere Menga, you know, who also criticized him, viciously, and he's over there now. People say he was bought over. I know of FCC Jones, who was writing everywhere, even made a video. I mean, yeah, he made a home movie called My Governor, something like that. I trying to mock how the governor ascended to power. That movie is still there, and today he's now writing for Senator Hope Uzodimma. And there are so many of them, right? So uh,
Okay, now
so maybe
Abdul,
that's
I
maybe
don't
that's
have,
the way to go over. Maybe that's the way to go over to him. Then you criticize him, and then he brings you over. He criticizes
and
you
then you get
again.
and then you get
Yeah,
appointment. You get
yeah,
appointment. I don't
yeah.
have any issue. I don't
But
have
how
any
how
issue with that.
productive and how impactful those appointments are, I mean, will be left for the people to judge. But I don't even see them making
Mm.
any impact while they're there, because it's like they are brought in there and they are compromised. I know Gubundu Wadike also, when he was writing for PDP and Ihedioha, was quite famous, but he got over there and he was compromised and caged. And today, his writings nobody cares to read again. Even FCC Jones, I've seen a lot of commentaries. People no longer want to read his write-ups again because they feel he has been compromised. I mean, okay.
Mm.
So let me come to you, Daniels. Can you hear me now? I want to ask you a question based on what um, Precious has said. For you, hello, can you hear me, Daniels? It's an issue. Daniels is not. Oh, Daniels is not connecting.
Mm.
We have serious issue of. Hello, Daniels. Can you hear me? It's not coming up.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, unfortunately we can't see you, but we can hear your voice. Maybe we can go that way. I want to have your
Wow.
view. I want to
Okay,
have
I
your
don't know what
view
happened.
on. I want to have your view on. It has to be network. I want to have your view concerning the fears we are raising about the judiciary. Do you think this arrest is being staged or orchestrated by the state, or do you think the police is just doing their job? Because we learned that a few days before his arrest, he was at a police event where he was even given a high table and made contributions and left peacefully, only for the police to come back. Daniel, you may have to remove your earpiece. I think you're having problem with your earpiece. If you can hear me, your earpiece is creating a lot of
Okay.
noise. Yeah,
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. So um,
Can you hear me now?
I'm hearing you. Can you also hear us? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, I can. I
Okay.
can.
So
Yes, you asked a question on my view
yeah, concerning
about the
whether
concern
whether
raised
his whether
earlier,
his
and
whether his arrest is being staged by the states, or you think the police is doing their normal job. Because I understand few days before his arrest, he was at the police event. He was at a police event where he spoke and was even given the high table. There was no cause for him to entertain any fears. And then 2 days later, the same police came and arrested him. So do you think the police is under an influence here, or you think they are just doing their job?
yeah, most definitely. If you ask me, I will say yes. Unequivocally, I believe the police is under heavy influence of the state government, because I couldn't wrap my head around it when after that event, the one you just referenced. I was part of that police stakeholders meeting that held. In fact, it was barely a week after that meeting before he was picked up. So it means there are a lot of things going on which we are not aware of, and which of course there was something everybody pointed at that meeting about the tiger base, the uh, infamous tiger base in Imo State here. Almost everybody who attended that seminar raised concern about the oppression, about what they are doing. And surprisingly and unfortunately too, the head of Tiger Base, who was supposed to be there, was not even there. Because in that meeting, we are meant to understand that all the unit heads were in attendance or should be in attendance, and most of them were in attendance. They introduced themselves. In fact, I was the first person to raise that concern of not seeing the head of the Tiger Base unit, I think anti-kidnapping unit, otherwise called Tiger Base. So, and we had a whole lot of things we had said by participants, anyway, not the police authority in the state. But all of those things point to the fact that um, there are some police officers in the state that are not even loyal to IG, so to speak, that they do not take instruction from the hierarchy of police in Nigeria, that they take instruction from the state government. Yes, these things were said by some of the participants. There is this fear of everybody being careful. Nobody wants to talk, even when you see white, you know, um, very glaring. You want to paint it and make it look like something that looks like white. Maybe you call it milk and all of
Mm,
that. So that's the situation we have found ourselves, and that is what is really happening. So
mm,
to answer your question, I think the police, there are a lot of things happening that a lot of people are not aware of, and it is not good generally for our state. It is not good, because this whole thing is pointing towards cowing everybody. Everybody will become scared to talk. Nobody will now say anything about the things that are happening in the state, and most of which are unreported or even underreported. Yet a whole lot of things happening. I think that's why what is happening now to Nonsonkwa is happening, and that's why we are also hearing that they just want to keep him behind bars until continue to delay his trial until next year. So for me, all of these are calculated, and it's been orchestrated by the state government. So I want to use the opportunity to lend my voice to our senator, our governor rather, Senator Hope Uzodinma, to please, um, I mean, understand that some of these things, I don't know what exactly the advisors tell him, but some of these things, at the end of the day, will be remembered. We'll all be judged and remembered by our deeds, by our actions and inactions. So I want to also add my voice in pleading with him to really have a rethink about this whole thing, and then do the right thing, because almost all the people today in court, some of them said they came because they believe that Nonsonkwa did not commit any crime. They came to show their solidarity. One of the placards I saw in court today read, if Nonsonkwa is on trial, then TVC should be on trial. And you will agree with me that they are very correct, because TVC reported exactly what Nonsonkwa reported, and which is now being accused of inciting the people and all of that.
Okay. Okay, gentlemen, because of time, we are going
Hello,
to, yeah, because of time, we are going to draw the curtain for
hello, are you there?
today's program. Time is no more on our side.
Can you hear me?
So,
Oh,
yeah, I can hear you clearly. I can hear you. Oh, it's gone off. Okay, maybe we'll try to reconnect again. So, Precious Wadike, we're going to be wrapping up the program. I want to have your parting words as we end the program for today.
Okay. Unfortunately, the time will not like time is no longer on our side.
Yeah.
Uh, I have every reason to believe that government may have planned to keep Nonsonkwa out of circulation. Okay, but then I also blame the Commissioner for Information. It is unfortunate it is happening at a time when all of us are near that for Commissioner for Information, there has to be a journalist. We have a Commissioner for Information who is a journalist, and he is not advising the governor rightly. I know he may be listening to what I'm saying. A lot of these blunders that are being committed by Senator Hope Uzodinma, I blame the Commissioner for Information. He is a very senior colleague. I expect him to advise the government rightly. Keeping Nonsonkwa in detention is not for the best interest of the government. And I want to join every well-meaning Imolite to ask that Nonsonkwa be released. The governor may not have known what is going on. He may have been talked into it. But I've used the opportunity. There is no crime Nonsonkwa has committed that all of us have never committed. If it's about being mouthy, if it's about criticizing government, all of us criticize government. So let the boy, let Nonsonkwa be. I'm asking that let him be released.
Okay. On this note, gentlemen, I want to thank you for being part of the program today. Unfortunately, we regret all the hitches we had from network today that has made the program, created some, problem for the program. But in all, we thank God to the extent we've been able to do it. So on this note, I want to thank Comrade Precious Wadike, the NUJ chairman Imo State, for being part of the program. Thank you, Comrade, for coming to the program.
Thank you, Abdul. Thank you.
Okay, and I also want to thank Comrade Drew Daniels from Owerri, down there in Imo State, for participating in the program today. Thank you, Drew Daniels, for being part of the program.
thank you very much, Abdul. It's my pleasure.
Okay, dear viewer, here we are going to draw the curtain for the day, and I want to thank you for being part of the program. This is We the People Show. It's a current affairs interview program where we discuss topical issues. I want to thank you for participating and also to call on the government, especially the Imo State government, to ensure that Chinonsoba Nonsonkwa is released, unconditionally. And then if they also want to try him, they should not create encumbrances that will, give meaning to or to confirm the fears of people that the process is being manipulated by the states. We condemn in its entirety every effort and attempt to stop opposition, to stop criticism. This is how democracy works. There must be critics, there must be opposition, there must be people that ask questions. Nonsonkwa is not a criminal, he's not a thief, he's not a kidnapper, and it's also outrageous that he was charged with treason. Alan, treason was inclusive in the charges. Maybe that's the latest in the Nigerian legal, government legal attack. Anything you do in Nigeria, if you protest, you are charged with treason. You say anything, you are charged with treason. So that is abhorrent to hear that Nonsonkwa was charged of treason. I don't know. So on this note, we are calling on the government to do the right thing. Remember, the world is watching. All these people, you come abroad here and you enjoy the freedom and liberty that is here, but you don't want that liberty. You don't want people in Nigeria to enjoy that freedom and liberty. So please, free Nonsonkwa today. Free Nonsonkwa. That is what we are saying. On this note, I want to thank you all for participating in the program. We'll be back same time again for another edition of the program. And until I come that time, I want to thank you all for participating in the program and for viewing us. Please, I apologize for all the hitches we had today. We have to apologize for all the technical errors. There were so many technical errors, even on the screen. I apologize because something, affected our setting. But we are still glad that we're able to bring the program to you eventually. Thank you and God bless. I am Obidi Marco, aka Abdul. I'll see you when I come next time.